On this episode of the Squat Plug, episode 25, Mark, Mateo, and I talked about a couple of things like regionals. We talked about the Rising Tide. We talked about the Raleigh meet. And we also talked about famous kickboxer.
Famous leg sweeper.
Famous leg sweeper as well. Join us. Like, subscribe, and share. And hope you guys enjoy. Welcome to episode 25 of the Squat Plug. Today, it is Mark, and Mateo.
In the interrogation room.
In the interrogation room. All right, so let's start off with your meet, Mark.
My schmeat.
Yeah, not too bad.
Yes, 2024 Northeast Regionals.
In Bumblefuck, Maine.
In actually, it was Portland, which is not really Bumblefuck. That's like the southernmost part of Maine you can get.
Bumblefuck.
Well, Maine being the most northern part of America you can get to.
That is true.
It's like a 24-hour drive.
But it's still the most southern part of the state.
How far of a drive was it for you? 4 hours?
So we went up. We went up Friday afternoon. We didn't leave until like 2:30. It took us like 4.5 hours to get there. We also stopped a couple of times. We got it. It was funny too because like I didn't check the weather in Portland. I just assumed, it's June. Like it won't be that cold, it'll be, and we're like driving through New Hampshire and I see the temperature dropping on the gauge of my car. It's just like goes from like 80 to like 55.
I forgot you're going to Canada, bro.
I'm like, oh my God. And then we like got in super late. We ended up grabbing some food and it was like 45, 50 degrees. So we ended up going to Target. I bought a hoodie that said Prince on it. It was like, I kept making jokes.
Was it the cheapest hoodie you could find?
It was the only hoodie they had.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. Prince is the brand.
Prince.
Yeah. It's in my, now it's stashed in my car now. Just
you should frame it after this.
I might.
After this amazing meet you just had.
I should.
Even though you just filled 300 pounds on bench again.
I did. I gotta beef up the tricep.
How was the regionals itself? How was the meet?
Honestly, Andrew Graves and Eric Hogan and Beverly Gentile, they put on an absolutely phenomenal meet.
Nice.
Like everything was very smooth. There was like a few technical difficulties with the lifting cast, as there always is, right?
Always, yeah.
But it was like just when the meet started, they got it taken care of, and then the rest of the weekend was great.
But is that even their fault?
No, it's probably, who knows? Yeah. I don't know. I wasn't volunteering or working the meet at all, so I have no idea what really happened.
For the first time ever.
Yeah, for the first time ever, right? I got to go the whole weekend without doing anything. That was nice. No, I don't really know what happened, but there was a couple technical hiccups, and one of the it caused a little bit of delay. But other than that, like everything ran super smooth. It was a great meet.
That's good to hear.
Yeah, the aesthetics were nice too. Like they labeled the platforms blue and black instead of like 1 and 2, and I was kind of confused as to why they did that. But then like you walked into the room and one platform was literally blue and one was black. Like the like the backdrop.
That's actually
like the regionals. It was blue, and then they had carpets. The platforms that there were carpets for the platforms that had the regionals logo on it.
Yeah,
they were really fucking nice.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's kind of dope.
Yeah, it was. They outdid themselves. It was really good.
You love to see it. I mean, the blue black thing also makes sense as well. I mean, typically speaking, I've seen people in the audience being confused by what platform one.
Well, yeah, for sure. It's just that's usually how they label them. So yeah. But it was that was a good idea.
Keep it simple, stupid.
Yeah, no, they did a great job.
Good job. Well, I'm glad you had a great performance out there. But you put it together. Getting better and better from each meet, as opposed to myself.
Yeah, who are you to fucking talk over here?
I only took an 50-pound total drop in performance. It happens,
I only had a 480 dots points decrease on my pace.
And I do want to mention though, Collaborative Strength did really well overall as like a team for the weekend. We didn't sign up for the team points. I almost kind of wish we did because we had the 67.5 kilo female open champion, Brooke Reynolds. She would have gave us 12 points for winning, which would have been cool. I don't know where that would have ended up putting us in the rankings, but I'm pretty proud that we actually had
Speaking of that,
an open champion.
Yuli, you got to make sure that for this year nationals, you're gonna sign up. You're gonna register all the teams.
Done already.
Done?
Yes.
So if I go right now on the lift,
Yes.
Okay.
I know,
I'll do that after the podcast
Yes,
is
please.
over.
Please.
I know. I was.
I don't know how many members I have there. Like I have well over 10 people at nationals this year.
Yeah.
Now I have to figure out how the fuck to work it out. It's a logistical nightmare.
Now you got
And I'm competing out there as well. I'll be competing alongside of like 3 other people.
It's gonna be me.
It's me, you, Kyle, and Rob.
Rob. Yeah. Is Kyle gonna be competing on? No, I think Kyle is the day before us because he's a 110.
Yeah, it's true. True that. Thank goodness. Until they change it and put everybody the same.
Oh, I hope not. I mean, honestly, I kind of hope they do because if they do, that means that the 125 is a little later. Because I feel like the way that it's now, I think we're gonna be lifting in the morning again.
That is what it is.
I hate lifting in the morning.
Yeah.
Hate it.
As well,
I love lifting.
So the upside
I
is,
already lift in the morning, so.
I don't.
So you want to tell the story about how you showed up at Rising Tides on Saturday?
I was gonna. We were going there. We were going there. We were getting there. I was gonna bring it up.
So there were some miscommunications among some parties.
We're just slow. That's all. That's all.
Okay.
So I'm like there, like in a very busy week
There
or
was no
whatever.
miscommunication. I'm just an idiot.
I must have asked for like 4 or 5 favors to be pulled. You know, I'm like, okay, we're gonna get ready. Rising Tide, important meet, need to be there. Absolutely need to be there. Can't miss it. Yada yada. Need a event. Yada yada. I'm like, yo, bro, would you mind leaving me early? The guy's like, yeah, I can. I'm like, fucking 4 different people more senior than me. Saying, all right, you can leave early. Whatever the case is, you know, all that's squared away. I got all the day taken care of and whatnot. Mateo stops by, picks me up like clockwork. Everything's fucking super well.
For the first time,
For the
right?
first time ever.
The stars align.
We get there at 9 o'clock sharp. Like
Bro,
we're
we're
right there.
there. I'm like, yo, we're looking pretty good, bro. We need to do this more often. You know what I mean? Like, we need to be there on time because we have a habit of fucking strong blue later. So we're there at the place. I'm like, why aren't there many cars out here?
Yeah, I go like, wait, it looks kind of dead out here. What's going on today?
This actually reminds me of when we went to New Hampshire State, Soph and I. Soph told me it was at Odyssey Barbell. So we showed up at in the morning and that parking lot was completely empty. I'm like, Soph, the fucking meet is not here. And then we called and it was like a half an hour away in like a different city in New Hampshire at like some hotel. Yeah, anyways.
So same situation here. I'm thinking like, you know, all right, so clearly it's not at this venue. I'm like, let's see where it's at. And Iron Revolution shows up again. I'm like, it is here. I'm like, hold on a second. Maybe it's a different part of this place. So we go inside. I'm like, yeah, so we're here for the meet. Yeah, we're getting ready for tomorrow. I'm like,
We look at each other.
I'm like, for tomorrow? She goes, yeah, we're holding it tomorrow. You know, we're trying to get everything done in the powerlifting area. I'm like, oh, no.
You're like, yeah, tomorrow.
Oh.
Nice.
You should have seen the look on our faces. We just looked at each other. We're like, we fucked up.
Yeah, we fucked up big time.
Fucked up.
So for the upside of this is offered us the opportunity, I guess, like to square everything away the day before, like have everything unloaded and ready to go, you know, and also, you know, got a couple of other things taken care of. And found out in the process we were missing a couple of other things that we should have had as well, which we just didn't have apparently. So, you know, we found out some things we need to work on next time. But that happens, and now I'm basically stuck in.
Thanks for the vague rundown for the audience.
Well, just, you know, basically.
There were some things that we had to take care of. There are things for next time.
We're missing about 85% of the shoes we need to have there. No, I'm joking.
No.
But,
But the first thing and the second thing.
The merch was there, but like, you know, the advertising stuff, the displays were not there, and apparently,
I'll tell you what
I guarantee they're in your car. Guarantee they're in your car. I can guarantee.
all
it.
we were missing was like the white toe, like banner. That's it.
And also the placard and the sign and that kind of
No,
stuff.
we never had that.
We did like the fucking like a plastic display, the plexiglass shit we put out there.
You're right. Anyways, but yeah.
So that kind of stuff. But we realized we missed it, whatever. And the next day I have a whole ass 24. And so I did a whole lot to put myself into that 24 so I get off of that 24. So I'm at the firehouse running my fucking balls off now. Like during the day, it was, you know, it was pretty chaotic.
While Rising Tides is going
While
on.
Rising Tide's going on, watching in between the attempts, whatever. Saw what happened to Frank Allen, yada yada, and just bros. I want to say the actual stream itself, fucking phenomenal. What I saw there was high quality. It was very very well put together. Mm-hmm. The announcing was very good. I have to commend the guys who are out there, Nick and these guys for commentating.
Was it Nick?
Work. Yeah.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
I did not see him there.
Yeah.
I didn't get to see any of it.
So I also like the commentating. I think the how strict it was and whatnot also kind of made sense. It's one of the biggest meets.
What was strict? The commentating?
No,
So
no, I'm not talking about like the whatchamacallit, not the commentating, the fucking the officiating.
Actually, the thing is like the issue was not even the refs. The issue was the jury, and
What issue?
So they overturned a lot of lifts from lifters, and nobody went up to the jury in the first place to contest it. They just overturned it themselves.
They were being
What?
proactive. Yeah.
I thought that's not what the jury's there for.
But that's
as far
what
as I
happened.
know.
So, and apparently they had overturned the 3 white lights lift as well.
So
They just decided to overturn it?
yeah, yep. They did that a
That's
couple times.
interesting.
They did it, like, I think at least like 5-6 times. Like to meet, but I don't know.
I don't think that's common practice for the jury.
I've never seen that before.
Definitely not for the USAPL. I know IPF does that, maybe not for Worlds and stuff, but never seen USAPL do that.
Well, I mean, this is a big meet. Not for nothing else. I mean, it's us in the USAPL. It's second only to the Arnolds from the payout.
But that's just an interesting practice. Like, isn't the jury supposed to be there to make sure that like the rules are enforced on the platform and not necessarily like to make judgment calls on the lifts?
Well, apparently not according to what happened this last meet. You know, like they can be a proactive force. If they see like a bad calls and whatnot, they can overturn them.
That's interesting.
I've never seen it before, at least on USAPL. It's very aggressive and whatnot. But honestly, and I hate to say it because I'm a person, I guess, who copes says, "Oh, the lift was good. Trust me." Like, you know, myself sometimes. You know, but I think in those instances where they overturned it, it may have been warranted. Frank Allen's second deadlift was not the cleanest lockout. Okay. I have to say that legitimately.
I haven't seen any lifts from the Rising Tide meet. I was too busy at regionals.
Yeah. And unfortunately, as a result, that Frank Allen ended up bombing out on deadlifts. You know.
Yeah, and he was first. Like he was, like going into deadlifts. All he needed basically was to hit his opener deadlift. Pretty much, and he was gonna win by like a good 15, 20 points just by hitting his opener.
It's crazy. It's crazy because you see.
What did he failed on strength or he failed?
It was a grip.
Strength. That lift moved like you talking about like how he was open, like because we had a conversation about this a little before we started talking here.
He opened what, 350 you said?
357, I think he opened with on deadlifts.
Yeah, but it moved at RP too.
And then
what was this? So why did he get red lights for?
So his grip is notoriously bad. In his write up, he's talking about how he's been doing plate pinching and it's been very helpful and whatnot.
Obviously not.
So he gets up there, and in typical grip slipping fashion, his shoulders start hunching forward and his knees start getting soft and whatnot. And he almost kind of drags up the last portion of the lift itself and holds it for like a microsecond and then comes down with it. And that was not enough for him to secure the
down commit.
That was a 2-to-1 bad lift.
It was 2-to-1. No, 2-to-1. It was a 2-to-1.
I can see how.
No. The second attempt was a 2-to-1 good lift.
No, yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm talking about.
The first attempt.
I'm talking about the second attempt.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm talking about the one that was overruled.
Yeah.
So he got.
Well, I was asking about the opener.
So same thing.
That's what happened on the opener?
Yeah. Same thing.
And also, he had no handler, right? At the meet. So after he failed his opener, you got to tell the table that you're retaking the same attempt, right? He did not do that. So the second attempt, he went up by 2.5 kilos. I think he just like walked away from the platform.
He just walked. Wow.
So the second attempt went up like 2.5 kilos. I'm like, wait, that's kind of silly.
I was wondering why I did it too.
Yeah, then I realized. Yeah.
So like it's again, no matter how good you are, it's important to have a handler meet day. Shit happens.
Yeah, the plate pinching is really working out too.
Yeah, apparently.
I can see.
Yeah.
I mean, you gotta try stuff.
I mean, I get it. I think honestly, he's never been coached. From what I understand. What did I know about Frank Allen? Because he's a very like enigmatic figure.
He's never been coached.
He's like a creature who emerges from the swamps every so often to compete, and it goes right back in and whatnot. And it goes. Where's he training in?
What is that?
Where's he training against?
Dan Campos.
It goes to Dan Campos to like post his lifts and whatnot. That's all you see. Frank Allen. That's all you see or hear from him.
And he'll do like the most random lifts. Like he'll just like go to the gym, just decide to load like 1,000 pounds on an SSB bar, finish it, go. Like I don't even know what he does. Like so do some strongman lifts. Like he doesn't train powerlifting.
That's not conventional. There's like some heavy ass overhead presses. I'm like,
some very unconventional training.
Yeah, but it's all very impressive, you know. And the guy obviously it's working for him, you know. But like I think if somebody could meet him where he's at, like halfway, and be able to better program his lifts and whatnot to suit for like meet day purposes, so his grip isn't as taxed or like so it's fresh and strong and whatnot. He would be. I want to say maybe one of the greatest power. He currently is one of the greatest powerlifters in the sport, but he would be maybe the
could be the best.
Yes, the potential's fucking there, bro.
With some proper guidance,
bro. He's crushing these weights, man. 600+ pound bench press, like fucking like over 1,000 pound squat.
Yeah, it's very impressive.
He could get a deadlift into 900s if he figures the grip situation out. Looking at myself, I was trying to figure out what was going on with his grip, and I want to say he's like really like deep into the grip itself. He's like really squeezing onto the bar. That's not the best idea.
He's a big squatter though, and the way those guys are built, like it's tough for the I don't know. They tend to not be the best deadlifters.
Mateo, how is he built?
Like a brick shit house.
Like half Thor Bjornsson. That's how he's built. Like he's about 3 inches taller than Yuli. He weighs 180.
Is he really?
Yeah. He weighs 180.
It's tough
kilos.
to like tell people's proportions like on Instagram.
He weighs 180 kilos. So he's just like, and he's like
He's just a massive
wide as
human.
hell, just
Wow.
wide.
So
straight up.
do you know how I know he's a big dude? The way he grips onto the SSB board, how small it looks. his palms are out like, to the bottom of his jaw and whatnot as he's holding onto the SSB bar. I'm like, that is a big fucking dude.
Jeez.
Yeah. Yeah, but it stands to reason. So it was a pretty damn good meet. I like what I saw over there. Love the production. I think what Kev did there was a great job of delegating to the people who knew what they should have done for every one of those positions there, like the people, the media team, building up the hype for it, the people who were filming and whatnot, having the right announcers out there, having officials out there, that kind of shit, having the jury out there. That was, he didn't really get to choose the jury. I think that'd be like Jen D'Alessio.
Probably.
Jen D'Alessio was the actual meet director, but the person I guess who meet is actually by would be 110. So I guess you call it a collaborative effort by the both and whatnot. And I want to say 100%, it did what it needed to do.
100%.
People may have issues with the jury overturning lifts.
110%.
People may have issues with juries overturning attempts and whatnot, but nobody can say that a single person was blessed with a lift at that meet. Every single fucking lift, without exception, counted at that meet. The prize that was won at the end was well earned and well deserved by each person who received it. First, second, third place, they fucking earned it. So that's the fuck we want to see in the sport.
Oh yeah.
And I love the fact that it's somebody who started off, I guess, like Kevin, small time, whatnot, built himself up and got to that point that he could deliver that kind of a package. Kev and Jan. So JD, I'm sorry. So this is the kind of stuff we want to see in the sport.
Shout out Jan though. Jan's
Shout
the
out
man.
Jan. Jan is the man.
Funny thing, they're both JDs.
Yeah, you're
That's
right.
funny.
But that kind of stuff, though. So another meet that's on the horizon, similar to this, the Raleigh meet. Yeah. When is it, Mateo?
I think it's about like 6 or 7 weeks out from that.
6 or 7 weeks out? Right.
Yeah. You want to see how's it going to compare to the Rising Tide?
I guess to an extent. I like to see how it compares to the Carolina Prime Time. And I've been having, like I said, basically it's like the equivalent of the Arnold to the, the USA Powerlifting Arnold in America for Powerlifting America. And people tell me, oh, no, but technically it should be like compared against the Sheffield. I'm like, we shouldn't be comparing to that.
It should be compared. It should be compared to the Rising Tide because they give the same amount of money. They give less than the Rising Tide, actually.
I know.
So it should be compared to the Rising Tide.
So, but people were saying basically, if you're going to compare Arnold's to anything, you should compare the Arnold to the Sheffield. I'm like, we can't, because the Arnold is run by the USAPL and Powerlifting America is its own U.S. entity, correct? So if you compare it to the international entity and whatnot, it's an unfair comparison.
Correct.
And they're also saying, but isn't the USAPL an international presence? It likes to think it is, and to some capacity it is, but it's not the IPF. When the infrastructure is as built in some of these countries as it is, it makes it impossible for the USAPL to make any headway in those markets. When the local government, like the ministries and whatnot, are involved in the powerlifting aspect, they are paying people to participate in the sport, and they're paying for the trips and so on and so forth. USAPL showing up the market is a non-starter. Yeah. The IPF is in there; it's entrenched. Yeah, this is what people don't realize and whatnot.
Speaking of IPF, I know you guys saw the guy that went into that was suing IPF for Article 14, right?
I sent a couple dollars his way.
Oh, you did?
Yes.
He's going to need it for sure. He's going to need the lawyer fees that are going to be pretty expensive, probably. Yeah. You think he has any chance of
He does. He already has precedent. A similar ruling was undertaken out in Europe. I forget which sport it was. I think it may have been handball or something like that, where something similar took place.
Not the American handball, not the one that we play in the city, in New York City.
No, like the actual handball. But apparently, there's a federation restricting people from participating in other federations, and it was sent to court, and it was found to be illegal. Article 14 is illegal. So now Sean is taking them to court now and is basically suing over the situation. I saw some of the stories recently talk about how complicated the situation happens to be. So I don't know how that bodes, whether it bodes well, whether it bodes poorly and whatnot, but he was given a tremendous amount of money from the community. I want to see not nearly as much as I would have liked to have seen, given all the fucking yapping that I've heard over the years about Article 14. No, to their credit, you won't hear me compliment them often. Powerlifting Now has decided to take all the subscriptions for the month of July and all the money they make there to give it to Sean to help in his legal battle, which is pretty cool.
That is cool, I have to admit.
Yeah, so we love to see shit like that. So I'm hoping he kicks some ass. The precedent has been set, and there's really, I guess, in the framework of preventing people from participating in sports and in other federations, it just doesn't make sense.
Also, if the Article 14 gets taken out, I feel like USAPL is going to benefit a lot from it
Quite a bit,
because there's a lot of lifters who would love to get $20,000 for winning the Arnold from
Absolutely.
other countries that cannot compete now.
But
Because
wouldn't
of
this be great for the sport, though?
it would.
Imagine having the best lifters at the Arnold, the best lifters at fucking IPF Worlds, and the best lifters at each one of these prestigious meets.
Yep.
It just makes it better for everybody.
Yeah, Article 14 just creates unnecessary barriers to each federation for all the lifters. Yeah, and
And you get and
it's
also
unfair for everybody.
and if these
Not good for anyone.
Of course not. And like for these other meets, like the Rising Tide, imagine you have an even bigger pool of people to get to choose from. And like the what you call like SBD Raleigh, you have an even bigger pool of people to choose from as well. You know, with no restrictions, like where people are being afraid of, I guess, infringing upon Article 14, whatever the case happens to be. You know, again, it's better for the sport in every fucking respect. You know, like Article 14 existing is like some little dick energy fucking jealous bullshit.
It is.
And I've been seeing like the voter results and whatnot over and over again, because like apparently Powerlifting America puts it to vote, like whether they want to keep Article 14 or not. Like, well, I'm sorry, let me walk that back. I think Ari Kamisi put it to stories whether or not people wanted to uphold Article 14, and wouldn't you know it, Keller votes that he's against overturning Article 14.
Of course.
Yes. So this is the shit that we're dealing with over here. You know, it's a top-down issue.
Well, it benefits those guys. Those are the only people that it actually benefits.
Yes, of course, for whatever reason, you know.
It definitely doesn't benefit the lifters.
It certainly doesn't.
It should be about the lifters,
Yeah,
not the fed heads.
exactly. You know, so that's what happens there. The question is what happens in the advent of Article 14 disappearing, because now, if that's the case, then, you know, like nobody has to really compete in Powerlifting America meets, you know, which are already very poorly accessible. You know, the calendar is it's threadbare. You know, so where do they get the money to continue running meets and so on and so forth? You know, does it become like a welfare federation? That IPF
Well, that's why Article 14 benefits them though, because it allows them to keep running meets and propping the federation up.
I think there's going to be a conversation between the USAPL and Powerlifting America and not too
There
distant
has
future.
to be.
If Article 14 goes by the wayside, there will be a pretty serious conversation between them.
There has to be.
They will open up a dialogue.
Yes, they will. And I doubt it'll involve Keller. So I'm thinking. So right now, like the position for Powerlifting America as president, and whatnot, is up for vote soon enough, I believe. And Ari Kamisi is putting himself in that position. He's running for office. He has quite a bit of a following on Instagram and social media, whatever. He's supposed to be king of the lifts.
I think he's a little more well-liked than
Keller,
too.
The thing is, the Keller operates in the shadows as well. And people don't understand exactly, like, you know, what his MO is and that kind of stuff. He hasn't established, like I said, network of people who vote for him. And I want to say that the extent population in Powerlifting America right now is still leaning towards him, you know, as opposed to, like, you know, like leaning towards Aaron Kamisi. You know, as that changes, as more people shift over Powerlifting America, that may change. But who knows what happens? I'm just curious to see what happens, I guess, the situation of Powerlifting America and USAPL in the future.
You
know,
and me both.
I'd like to see more cooperation, you know, or maybe I guess the solution of one into the other.
Yeah, I think people need to put their differences aside
I agree.
for the lifters and figure out
The question is what will happen at the next question is what's going to happen at the international capacity, because I understand the differences aren't just between Keller and USAPL, but Gaston Parage and the USAPL.
For sure. And now that USAPL has gone international to the extent that they have, setting up federations in a number of countries at this point, they can't you're just going to walk back on, like, what are they going to do with that? You know?
I'm not sure. That's a good question, whatnot. But in the event that I guess the USAPL is put right back into the IPF, I think it becomes a moot point, you know? And what happens is it just gets rolled back, you know?
Fair enough.
And unfortunately, like kudos to those people in those federations. I'm sure they'd be involved in some capacity, I guess, with the USAPL, IPF, I guess, like, you know,
Yeah, that's fair.
infrastructure.
That's fair.
But let's see what takes place. I mean, I had somebody actually tell me how Gaston Parage actually came to power. And apparently it was him and two other individuals. One was the American Party who was going to win. And it was him and then somebody else from the European caucus who were running for position. And he says to the guy, the European counterpart, if you, what's called, essentially, I guess, like a, you know, like a leader position and like put your people to vote for me and whatnot, I'll make you the treasurer. And now the current IPF treasurer is that guy. And so the both of them together ended up being the U.S. representative.
Interesting.
That's how Gaston
I did
Parage
not
came
know
about.
that.
Yes. Yeah, so,
Interesting.
yeah, there's a whole lot of shit happening behind the scenes, you know, and some pretty snaky shit.
That doesn't surprise me.
Yeah, no, me neither. It was interesting to see what actually took place, where the origin came from. So there's other speculation as well that maybe certain parties who found powerlifting America and whatnot were kind of biased towards making that happen, and may have also harpooned some of the dynamics in the rapport between USAPL and IPF when they're trying to work things out. So curious to see what actually comes of that. So yeah. So how about Steffi Cohen?
I know we're like a couple weeks late on this, but
a little late on that.
But how fucking hilarious is this?
Bro, that's fucking insane. Oh my God, bro.
What is wrong?
Holy shit.
What happened? Do you know exactly what happened?
So what happened here is her ex-boyfriend, right? Mm-hmm. So her ex-boyfriend broke up, whatever case is. I think there's like some animosity between the both of them, whatever. So she gets hold of her ex-boyfriend's girlfriend's laptop.
They've been broken up for quite a while.
They have been.
Too.
This is weird behavior.
Like it's been years.
Yes, this is weird behavior
at this point, right?
Yeah.
So she found the photos recently, though.
So she gets access to the laptop, gets in there, and then puts it out there. So I found out about
her Hayden's girlfriend.
Yes,
right? Her nudes.
Yes. So I found out about this in November, by the way.
Wait. So she posted the girlfriend's nudes?
Yeah.
Yes.
What the fuck is wrong
I know,
with her?
insane. So I found out about this in November, apparently. So remember when we were at the Olympia?
Yeah.
Remember the airport?
Oh, good.
Yes. When I spoke to that one individual at the airport.
The individual that pretends it doesn't know you anymore.
Yes, weirdo. So he gave me the inside scoop there and then, and I didn't think of it much of it at the time, to be honest. But apparently, like the cops investigated, yada yada, and found there was enough to actually arrest her on this and to fucking send her to jail over. So they go over to fucking arrest her, and she sweep kicks a cop, knocks him on his ass, and just all kinds of fucking.
From what I've seen, she didn't even get charged for that either.
Apparently not. Like, yeah, she should have.
Which is that was kind of surprising to me.
Yeah. She's God.
It's another conversation.
We can't talk about that.
No, can't talk about that. But either way, so cop gets knocked on his ass, yada yada. They arrest her, lock her up, boom boom, and lo and behold, mugshots of Steffi Cohen.
I love how there's like leaked shots from like still video or something, like in the police station. Like,
oh, of course, yeah.
Who the hell leaked those photos?
Cops, bro.
Obviously,
they're human, just like all of us are, and shit like that. Something spicy enough to fucking put it out there.
100%.
What was it again? What photo was it?
It was just a picture of her in like an orange jumpsuit.
Oh, okay.
Like it was just like it must have been like security footage from like the police station or something.
Yeah, she's out there just like fucking like beating up cops and fucking giving them wedgies and shit. You're like, I'm not trapped here with you. You're trapped here with me.
I also saw something about how she tried to report like domestic abuse against her.
Oh my God!
It was it was the day after, like she was in a fight or something. I forget who posted about that. Was it was it Goob?
So she posted a photo with her with bruises saying domestic abuse.
Yeah.
And the exit files, if you look at it, show the day after her fight.
Yeah.
Which is fucking
come
bullshit,
on,
bro.
like,
oh my God!
You think nobody's gonna find that information out,
bro?
Put her on blast,
yeah,
like,
it's
come
fucking
on,
hilarious.
That's
just
ridiculous.
Absolute charlatan. Holy fuck, bro! It's so sad to see that happen because not for nothing else, but Steffi Cohen's like very.
Is that
knowledgeable.
also illegal?
Well, you would think isn't she well off enough?
False report.
Why did I don't know. It's just purely out of spite you did that.
Apparently, a very spiteful person.
Apparently, yes.
Bro, years have passed by. So
yes.
Apparently, this situation also took place in 2023, from what I understand. So it just made the news right now. She just got arrested right now, but it's been something which has been which has been pursued for a better part of a year, if not even longer.
That's why you can't mess with Latinas, bro. You can't. Mark, I'm sorry, bro. Hopefully, you don't go through anything crazy like that.
Nah.
Yeah, so that kind of shit. And so hot temper, apparently very spiteful, that kind of shit. Just it's crazy because she's been broken from Hayden for a good long while. Whether or not it happened last year or not, she'll just, bro, it's incredibly disappointing. I mean, she's somebody actually who I looked up to because of how knowledgeable she was on the topic.
And I thought they had a pretty amicable breakup.
Well, you thought wrong.
I guess so. But I remember when they split, there was no drama on the internet.
So who's the person that she broke up with? Because I have no idea.
Hayden Bow.
So they're
Is he a powerlifter or something?
Oh yeah,
yeah.
You ever hear of Hayden RPE?
Yeah, no.
It's like he'll hit a lift be like RP7. He's like twitching, whatever, like, like convulsing, whatnot. He finishes like, oh, surely it's RP10. He's done 3 more reps or like 4 more reps. He's he kind of like, like shakes around like that.
He's a pretty strong guy. I don't think he was like a great power lifter.
No,
though.
he wasn't. He was like middle back. I would say maybe he had like a 420, 430 dots.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, about 30 points higher than Mark. But,
About 430 points higher than you, though.
yeah, I know. As of the Arnold, yes. Talk about back my heyday 2 months before the Arnold at the Olympia. But yeah, so that kind of stuff though. So that took place, and I knew there were some issues there for a while now. So they also co-owned the gym with Alex Uslar and co. And then that.
Oh yeah, I forgot.
And
about
that very quietly, disappeared. The
Ghost Gym?
the Ghost Hybrid Gym. They had together. The Ghost became its own thing. The Hybrid Gym became its own thing. It's like just a whole bunch of crazy shit like this. So I don't know. Apparently they don't like to talk about things, but when it comes to walking the walk, Steffi's walking the walk.
And beating the cops.
Bro, it's insane. Never, like, bro, my 2024 fucking bingo card did not have Steffi Cohen, like, fucking leg sweeping cops.
No. I wonder if she really thought she was going to get away. Like, if she was, like, confident.
What was she thinking, bro?
She must have thought, like, I'm going to leg sweep this guy. Like, I'm going to get away from this.
I've seen it in a movie. Recognize me if I make it into the street.
Yeah, surely they'll never catch me.
What was her escape plan?
I'll just go right home. Like, wow, yeah, exactly. What is your escape plan? Hope you have your bags packed.
Bro, insane. Yeah, I hate to see it happen. Because legit, she's actually very knowledgeable. Dr. Steffi Cohen, she knows her shit. And lo and behold,
Yeah, once upon a time, she was a respectable figure in our community.
Yeah, now she's an absolute clown, bro. The whole thing of her posting domestic abuse shit the day after a boxing fight. Bro, what are you doing, Steffi? Oh, Lord.
And just because even if she
Losing
was,
credibility, that's what she's doing.
The thing is, like, even if she was having like domestic abuse issues, like you going to your ex's girlfriend's like computer and stealing her nudes
answer, bro.
is not the way to go about things.
Yeah, nothing about this says that like she's a victim here.
Yeah.
No.
Nothing about this.
Nothing about this indicates that she may be sane.
I was gonna say that as well. Yeah.
Yeah, some batshit crazy energy over here. It's fucking shocking. I would never have expected. Like she conducted herself very well on Instagram and that kind of shit. But I guess it goes to show.
We know some. A lot of people like that who look like
I know.
Joe
Stanek, Joe
smart
Sullivan,
and preppy on Instagram, and then in real life they're just
Nico
scumbags.
Flores.
Okay, keep going. Yeah.
The list goes on and on.
The list goes on.
Somebody in North Carolina recently, another dude in Indiana.
Okay.
We have somebody who's actually very known, untested coach as well, apparently.
We'll probably have one person in every state, honestly. More than one person.
I can imagine, bro. I wouldn't doubt it. It's insane to see this shit happen. It's incredibly disappointing. Absolute charlatans and fucking, in these instances, the latter names I just mentioned.
Beyond, we're talking beyond charlatans,
bro,
though. We're talking so maybe domestic abusers,
sexual abusers.
I think that's
behavior, a whole bunch of stuff out there.
I think that's a conversation for the next
we definitely
podcast.
Yeah, it's a conversation in and of itself, but just some very heavy stuff of late and whatnot that's been weighing on my mind, to be honest. It's just pretty fucking wild, bro.
Yeah, we'll have to get together next week and talk about it.
Maybe a little earlier this time.
Maybe a little earlier.
It's like 9 o'clock right now, 9 p.m. And I know it's way past.
I'm EP.
Bedtime. I know.
I'm EP right now.
I was EP too.
And I gotta drive. I gotta drive home. It's gonna take me an hour, 10 minutes to get home.
At least, hey, look at the positive side. At least there's not gonna be any traffic around.
Yeah, that's why it's gonna take me an hour 10 versus like an hour 30.
I don't know how you feel about it, but like I hate driving in traffic.
It's the worst.
I'd rather drive like an hour with no traffic than drive 30 minutes with traffic.
Well, yeah, when Yuli's like, be at my house at 7, I'm like, that means I have to leave my house at like 5:30.
5, because
but I have to drive through New Haven and then Bridgeport and then fucking Greenwich and then finally I get to New York and I'm like, I have to drive through so many big cities and it sucks.
Me and Mateo make our way back from like southern or central Jersey with them. Because on occasion we'll take the Tappan Zee Bridge going across, and it'll add minutes to the drive, miles to the drive, but it'll be a lot less stressful. Nothing else, but also like the GPS will tell us to be a shorter route taking the GWB.
Personally, I would rather take a longer route where I can keep moving with no traffic.
But this instance over here, if you take the GWB, it'll tell us a shorter route with like time wise, and it ends up being longer than a long road otherwise. what happened last time we fucking took
Yeah,
GWB?
no, it's like it
Add
keeps
another
adding
40
time.
minutes, bro.
Like it says, like let's say, like it says,
Well,
like
driving in, let's be honest, just driving in New York City
It
sucks.
felt, it felt like we were at the event horizon of a fucking black hole, just watching like time stretch on and on and on. What the fuck is going on
that's
here?
driving in New York
like
City.
we're getting
feels like all the time.
we're getting closer, and the time was just getting long. It was like, oh, you're 20 miles away, you're like 45 minutes. Then you're like, you're 15 miles away, but you're 50 minutes.
Yeah.
50
What
minutes
the
away.
fuck is going on?
It's so
It
fucking
doesn't make
annoying.
sense.
So fucking annoying.
This little move's about to cost me 50 years.
By the time I get home, I'll have grandkids.
Yeah, but I think we'll be able to record the next one nice and early.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
We can meet up noontime. We'll all be bright and chipper.
Yay.
All right.
So,
well, with that, I think this is a good spot to end it for today.
I agree. Thank you all for joining us. Like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. and
All the
whatnot.
things.
All the things, all the social media things.
Go like my meat recap
Oh,
from regionals, please.
Roast him for his weak bench. Mark, where's the 300? I'm kidding.
Fuck you. I have a respectable squat and deadlift. Fuck off.
Bitch was 300 pounds more than I did.
That's true. That's true. It's true. Ha! Winning.
So, with that said, thank you guys. Take care.
peace.
On this episode of the Squat Plug, episode 25, Mark, Mateo, and I talked about a couple of things like regionals. We talked about the Rising Tide. We talked about